Good, the bad, and the ugly. It's your boy Kyron. We live with us, so anything happens when you're live. MCTV Studios, we're right here upstairs, Shop MCTV building. The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. It's aired every Tuesday night between the hours of 8 to 9 p.m. It's a program where my community could have a voice. My community has a voice on the Good, the Bad, the Ugly. And as you guys just saw on the billboard, the title, my Twitter account is Kyron the Voice, because I am the voice. And I'll back and with somebody in Mayaro concerning the name something, the voice. And she was asking me, but you know, my so-and-so is the voice, and you didn't register your name. Darling, I don't need to register my name, and I just at that level where, you know it's a foregone conclusion, I am the voice. Right, but no, good night to Arlene, darling. You know, he's my lover. Right, so I want to talk a little bit about Kankalang now. People might vex, but you know, at the end of the day, I'm not here to keep friends. If you're my friend and what I say offends you, it's because you're doing something wrong and we need to figure that out. The Mayaro area has been without an E999 service, for the longest while. And I don't know why that picture, E999 service for the longest while. I don't know what the major problem was. I contacted my MP last night. I called him on the phone. I said, good night, Mr. MP, how are you doing? So he said, all right. I said, Mr. MP, I need to know give me a status now, brother, on the ambulance service, the E999 service that was in Mayaro. And he said, well, you know, there were some issues with that and it was scrapped and they're working on getting it back. I said, well, what can we do to fast track this? He said, well, we need to send a letter. I said, well, don't worry about it. Consider it done. I wrote a letter to the MP and I have addressed it. I'm going to probably make some arrangements to have that letter sent to his office before the end of this week, asking formally for him for his intervention in the issue of this non-existence of an ambulance service. Now, let me give you a reason why. One of the reasons why an ambulance service is important. I'll do better than giving you a reason. I'll give you an actual experience. We all know Mr. Michael Anthony, the world-renowned author and historian, Mayaro born and grown. Unfortunately, there was an accident in his household, and I think his mother was injured in that accident. She fell down some stairs, whatever. So, being good neighbors, he came across to our house, contacted my mother, and asked for some assistance. So, your boy had to take the car, reverse out there like a real ambulance driver, reverse into the yard. And then that's where the problem started, because we had to move this lady, this poor old lady, from the top of her stairs all the way down. Now, we all know that when there's and she had some head injuries. We all know that whenever there's injuries with the head, the last thing you need to do is move this person, because you never know what's going to happen if there's any spinal issues, any back injuries or whatever. But we had to move her because we had no other choice. If there was a 999, an E999 service, this would not be an issue. When I mentioned this to the MP, he said he understands that. And he gave me one of the reasons why the government, quote unquote, was decided to stop the service. And his advice to me, or his information to me, was that too many calls were coming in that they didn't see the need for an emergency service. I don't know in which country in this world that you don't get calls that come to your E999 desk or E999 service that doesn't really require that. But your job is to be able to be trained enough to understand where it's really needed and decide from that. So that is one of the reasons why Mayaro does not have an E999 service. If you don't have a transport to take yourself or your injured family member to a hospital, crapo, smoke your pipe. And this should not be like this. Should not be. We, the people of Mayaro, deserve better than this. There was a service being provided by the Eastern Divers Group, or I think that it's Eastern now. But I need to have that conversation again and find out if it's still happening and if it's only happening for the Guaya area, because I know they were giving that service. It was kind of like an adopt a community where they would respond to people in Guaya Goyari and bring them to the hospitals. And even if that is there, at least the people in Guaya would have that service. So I need to find out about that. But when I say Kankalang, all I see Kankalang yet. I have a couple of pictures that were sent to me by an anonymous source. And thank you, anonymous source, because this is where we need to highlight the stupidness, man. I don't know if we can bring up this first clip. I want to tell him what is all I really see in this picture. I'm going to hush for about don't flip it yet. We can stop. Oh, all right. I'm going to hush for about 5 seconds, and I want to tell me what is wrong with this picture. Now, this is one of the ambulances, one of the fleet of ambulances in the Mayaro district facility. And the thing shut down. It shut down, and they had to get help from workers to push the ambulance. Now, that is not the interesting fact, is that there was a patient in the ambulance waiting to be taken to another facility. How embarrassing and backward is this? To where we have to rely on manpower, not horsepower, manpower, to move the people's ambulance. This is a big issue. And as you can see, our school children inside, they're pushing too. There's a school child helping. Yeah, that fella in green, there's a school child in you. Yeah. So oh gosh, come on now, man. Come on now, man. These are the things that we need really and truly to bring to the attention of the authorities and say it needs to stop. I was even told this morning by my anonymous source that when she got into the hospital this morning, the ambulance was chucked by a brick. They put a brick to chuck the wheel because the handbrakes are working. What is this? What is this? I mean, where is our hard-earned tax dollars going? If it's not one ambulance down, is the other one down. If it's not one giving problems, if it's not two giving problem, one down. One down, two up. There's never a fully functional fleet at the Mayaro district facility. And you know what is the scary part too? The ambulances at the Mayaro district hospital facility is used only for transport. You can come back to me now. I fed up see people push. Feeling distraught. These ambulances are used to transport patients from one facility to the next. Mayaro to Grande, Mayaro to San Fernando, and I think as far as Mount Hope. So, because I actually there was an instance where I stopped in the Coconuts because there was an accident happened like about 5 minutes before I passed. And right after the accident passed, the ambulance passed with a nurse and a driver, and they could not stop. And I'm not angry with the nurse, neither the driver, because the ambulance or the crew they're not insured to make those sort of stops, as well as they are not trained to make those sort of stops. What adds even more insult to injury, is that the hospitals have EMTs, emergency medical technicians. These are the guys that actually can go out in an ambulance. They can go out in an ambulance to help someone in need. But they cannot make that move because they don't have the transportation. So like we spinning top in mud with this whole healthcare Mayaro, and need someone in authority with regards to the ERHA to give us an answer as to what is the problem with that and why it is we have these issues. I can get those pictures again. It'll take a while to. I'm gonna get those pictures again because I'm still in disbelief that this is where healthcare in our community, our oil-rich community of Mayaro has reached, where we have to rely on manpower to push an ambulance. This is your boy Kyron for the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm going to take a break, and when we come back, it's more. Don't go, please. Hi, guys, and welcome back to the good, the bad, and the ugly with your boy, the poor people's governor. The time now is 8:44, so we have like about 15, 16 odd minutes to go before we close off. So I really want to try to get through as many of these topics as possible. Right, so we just talk about the lack of ambulance. I don't know. I don't want to touch on that anymore. Enough bad news for the while. Let's try to concentrate on something a little more positive. I'd like to publicly thank WASA, more specifically the corporate department at head office for really resolving that issue that we had on Payerville. I think we have some pictures of that where they did some work on the road and left it like that for a couple of days well. And you had dust and vehicles passing there at a high rate of speed, trying to swerve to avoid it and whatnot. And I actually called the corporate department, made a request for them to have something done about it. And within the next 2 days, that was sorted out. I think we're supposed to have a video of that work being done. I don't know if you can probably run it in the meantime. Leave my audio up. All right, so these are the gentlemen that is of yeah, this is the guys doing a little bit of work trying to get it sorted out. And when he came outside, I'm a gap and I realized what was happening. So and the sun was kind of hot too, so them fellas them plus it's fire on top, fire below because the sun hot and that pitch hot. Them fellas them was feeling like a roast bake, I feel like a good pot bake. Right, but nonetheless, they did the work to get it sorted out. I think they came back a couple of days after and did the other two issues lower down. I think one down by Parker and the other one lower down closer to the gas station. So thank you very much, Wassa. Also, I would like to commend the Rio Claro residents. Here I drive to Rio Claro last night. And I ain't lying. Rio Claro Junction looking like the promenade. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm telling you they're making very large steps, large strides in ensuring that their community is one to be mimicked. Now I remember having a conversation with Mr. Cozy and I asked him, I said, boy, why it is these people in Rio Claro place looking so nice and we can have that kind of development, boy? And he said something that made some sense to me, is that a lot of the people in Rio Claro that contribute to that are the corporate citizens. These are the people that run their businesses in the Rio Claro area. They come together and they help out. We have a lot of businesses in Mayaro, and to be very honest with you, only a handful of those businesses contribute to the good of Mayaro, and that is nonsense. That has to stop. I will single out, I will always single out Mayaro Cable TV, and I'm not only saying that because we're utilizing their network and their infrastructure. I'm not only saying that because I was an employee at Mayaro Cable TV. I'm saying that because I know for a fact that Mr. Rushton Parry has been very instrumental in either giving to the community directly or trying to organize the corporate citizens via the Mayaro Business Commerce to come together to be the voice, the corporate voice of Mayaro. So he is trying. But there's only so much that he can do. There's only so much that the one or two members of that group, willing members, and I'm saying willing members because it have some slackers in the group. I'm saying it and man go vex, but there are some slackers, businessmen in Mayaro that only take and don't give back, don't pump back into this community. And you know, we are so fragile. We are so afraid that people may say, boy, oh God, you can't say that. You can't talk about that because they go vex. We have the power, you know. People in the community, we have the power to say who is successful business-wise in our community and who is not, you know. All you have to say is, I'm not buying by you. I'm not spending my hard-earned money by you. I will go by next man and spend his money because he is giving back. And let me tell you how this thing works. If I take my money and I go to a grocery in Mayaro that invests in my community, the money stays here. If I take my money and I go by somebody who taking it and flying out, they're going Venezuela and in resort and I'm saying that because there was a man that went in a resort and I hear he was there with the family, real Ganta gorging himself. And these people don't give back to the community. But we keep going there and giving them and they're raping our community. And we need to start, I say raping and a man skin up the face there. Not that kind of rape, Kester. They're raping the community of the riches and the finances and the financial stability that we can get in this community. And it's time that we open our eyes, open your eyes and say enough is enough. We are not going to take this and not spending my money. I have boycotted a lot of people in this area. A lot of hardwares. A lot of groceries. I stopped spending by them because I realized it makes no sense. Another man that always gives back to the community is Paras. Paras is a man, hey, Paras are looking for so. Yeah, don't worry about that. Now come now, man, we go ting up. Next generation, Nasser Khan, Kareem and his wife, always giving back to the community. These are the people that you should spend your money by. Come by Shop MCTV, go by Nell. If you go by Nell and say, Nell, oh God, girl, a little broke, no. Let me get a little credit on a TV or something. She is going to take that into consideration because these are the people that give back to our community. So my mantra for this whole year should be support those who support you. Simple and real simple. Support the people. Give the support to the people that support you. Forget, boy, I shop in a long time and I go look bad if I go somewhere else. Don't care. It's even going down to as low as your barber. But as I ain't talking about you, I just saying that. Stars, I ain't talking about you, calling all as my barbers, right? But it goes down to the small man in the street. It goes down to every single corporate citizen. Sit down and think about what I'm telling you about. Think about it and really let's try to adjust these issues. Address these issues and see how best we can really learn from them, right? Remember the mantra is support those that support you. I already know we have 10 minutes again. I also want to talk about the Mayaro home for senior citizens. I know my counselor for the area spoke about that today, but I want to give a more in-depth look or in-depth overview into that because the Mayaro Village Council is now solely responsible for the day-to-day operations of that group. I can say that because I am the vice president of the Mayaro Village Council, so I'm very in tune into what's happening in that group, in that home. What I want to do is tell people that if you want to bring some of your residents, your Mayaro residents, because we have space right now, we need residents to help the home be a successful one. So if you want to bring people to the home, contact any member of the executive of the Mayaro Village Council, the president, the vice president, the PRO, the welfare officer, the secretary, the assistant secretary. Any one of us, we will be more than happy to give you the information, the relevant information as to what you guys can do towards getting your loved ones into that home. Because Mayaro Home for the Aged is just that, you know. It's for us Mayaro people. I even heard Mr. Cozier said we could go and you could drop off our little groceries there if you want. Drop off our rice, drop off a thing of coffee, some tea, some condensed milk, something small. Is not really going to be an issue to take out that from your pocket. Help out. And we will help those that help us. Remember the mantra. Right? And that's all I had on my list here, boy. No, boy, oh God, I'm running out of thing. But I will touch a little bit about it now and talk more about it next week. My fire station, Mayaro. My fire station. The fire station that the people of Mayaro have been clamoring about for the longest while. What is the update with our fire station, Mr. MP, Mr. Councillor, Mr. Councillors? What is the update? Let us know. If it's bad news, let us know. No news is good news. You hear people say that? That is not true in this instance because we have no idea what is happening. It takes, and I check it the other night, it takes about 15 minutes, 20 minutes to come from Rio Claro. And if you're pelting Mel, probably about 10 minutes in an ambulance. Do you know how much of a property can be burnt in 10 minutes? How many lives can be burnt in 10 minutes? We can't talk too much about it now because we run out of time. But that is something definitely next week I want to get some more insight on. We're going to probably do some footage, talk to some people, get an idea of what's going on with that fire station, right? All right, so guys, finally, let me don't say finally like I'm happy, but we're here at the end, the finale of this live episode of The Good, The Bad, The Ugly. For future episodes, remember we are going to be live 8 to 9 p.m. Call me on Skype, watch GBU. That's the name of the Skype account. Follow me on Twitter, Kyron the Voice. And you can even go to the Facebook page, do a search for GBU, and give us an idea. Let me know what's some of the updates and what's happening. I was actually just sent a message by someone on the Facebook page stating that there's going to be a protest tomorrow morning at the Mafican Government School, allegedly. They're protesting for conditions in the school and whatnot. So you guys definitely, if you're in the area, you want to see exactly what's going on. MCTV will be there to capture the event. My cameraman is going to be there. Hopefully you get some information and we'll try to have that highlighted for you, for those guys, right? I think we do have a call right before we end up this program. No? All right. So guys, this brings us to the end of another episode of The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly. Thank you very much for being my guests. Thank you for allowing me into your homes. I'm going to be back here next week with more vigor, more fire. And next week I might have some information for you. I ain't really going to talk about it now, boy. Next week, we got some information for you, right? So it's your boy Kyron. Thank you very much. On behalf of my hard-working staff, my cameraman, my director, the producer, everybody, thank you for making the show possible. We will be back next week, same time, same place, on the #1 community station, MCTV3. It's your boy Kyron the Voice. See you guys next week.
Some pissed off, who wants some? I'm fighting for my soul. God, get at your boy. You try to go God, fall back. I go hard on this lonely road.
Stay tuned to MCTV3, your community station.
Shop MCTV, located Pearville, Mayaro.